Well, good evening to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojopah Maria and Sarama coming to you with another edition of Astrology for Self Mastery. And I apologize, I have the wrong date up. Let me jump back. Yeah, that's the right date. I forgot to change that. Yeah, it's one of those days. What can I say, folks? What can I say? Here we are. It's almost I feel like July kind of snuck in. I wasn't sure where June stopped and July began. I was like, isn't it June 18th still? Yeah. So what does that mean? That means that the energies are a continuation from what we were experiencing in June. And yeah, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But of course, because it is July and it's the start of the summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, winter in the Southern Hemisphere, there is a shift going on. It's a shift going on. And July has a really powerful one with the nodes of destiny, which I will talk about in the next video. But the time we have now is going to be leading up to that. Like that's what is kind of happening. That's the energy that we're getting. Yeah, Michael, you didn't miss it. I'm here. Greetings from the homelands. Yes, yes, yes. Greetings to you as well. So, yeah, let me jump into this and, please comment. If the music is too loud, let me know. And I will turn that down. But I'm going to start off with the quotes that I found for you because I think they really kind of do a nice summarizing, and then I'll get into the specific aspects of what is going on with the planets and the asteroids shifting. But these two quotes, I think, will really be a good summary for you. So let's start off with Lena Stevens from the Power Path, powerpath.com, where she does her monthly assessment. And she says, in some ways, July is a continuation of last month's theme of intuitive choices. Although this month, you have the opportunity to anchor those choices according to your personal truth and ability to truly have what you want. Then she goes on to say there are big energetic changes this month, supporting the need to engage your will, good boundaries, and positive action steps, leading you closer to your essence goals. Isn't that just delicious, that phrase? Essence goals, yes. This may require more letting go of old invalid programs, of cultural imprint, as well as the courage to step forward into a new landscape. Yes. And then Astro Butterfly says July is a big month. In July, we have two major transits that happen only every 1.5 years on average. This is when, and I cut out what they were because we'll talk about that later. But she says, when big shifts like this happen, life gets busy, changes arise, we shift our focus. In July, big things are coming your way. Pluto squares the lunar nodes for pretty much the entire month, inviting us to break the generational cycle and heal deeply ingrained behavioral patterns. Chiron stationary retrograde will help us to take ownership of our generational wounds. Our wounds are not our fault, but this doesn't mean we don't have a responsibility for ourselves and future generations to heal them. It's big stuff. It's big stuff. And that energy has been moving throughout 2023. We opened the year with that energy of healing these ancestral wounds. And now we're going to really have even more opportunity for that to occur. So for those of you who are wisdom walking for real, and you have some activation going on, I don't use trigger anymore because it's not just so that you can be disrupted. It's so that you can really get access to the truth of who you are by letting go of that pain that's sitting on top or covering over your truth. And so if you've been activated, you're going through an activation right now, please know that it is so related to ancestral wounds, and do call on the ancestors to help you because they really, really want you to win. Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with the astrology for July 1st through the 14th. I'm going to jump back to Saturday. And on July 1st, we had this aspect of Mercury in Cancer sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. And so we come into the month with a nice sextile, with a flow energy. This is a positive connection that encourages us to visualize the best possible future for ourselves. Focus on manifesting your ideal life. And I have been in conversation with my dear friend and colleague, Miss Carmen Ray, just about this. And she actually just posted something through her Be Well community and on her website, bewell.com, about how over the next 5 months, she is taking on really giving herself permission to work in a way that can really work for her. So rather than letting the work her, she's going to work the work. And I think there's more of us. I know I am. I have been for the last really 2 months, but it's really, really grown for me about, I need to work in a way that really works for me. And what does that mean? What is it that is bubbling up? So just know that we open the month with an energy to support us in that. And then on the same day of July 1st, we also had another sweet flow of sextile energy. This was the Sun in Cancer sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. This is your lucky day, as the optimistic aspect attracts good things to all of us. Practice gratitude and keep your vibrations positive to receive good things. Again, just lovely, 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 lovely stuff showing up in there. Yeah. So that's how we opened up the month, which is not a small thing. That's really, really cool. Hey, Michael, great day to you as well. Yes. Wow. So as you know, the way the universe works, right? It's all about balance. It's all about getting both sides to things. So here we go with Sunday, the 2nd. And guess what? Yeah, we had a square show up. Yep, the square showed up. So some tight energy that asked us to be patient. Patience is required during this frustrating aspect that brings sudden and unexpected changes and delays. Plans can easily fall apart. But here's the reason why, folks, so that you can get back into alignment with higher purpose. You know, one of the things that I preach with self-mastery is how we can begin to really shift up our belief system about how we experience things in life. And instead of believing the world is out to get us, that we believe it's out to gift us. And so this was a gift day in terms of there was something maybe that you thought should be happening and how it should be happening and why it should be happening. And then things fall apart or they're not flowing, whatever. But its purpose is because you weren't in alignment. And so the universe is giving you an opportunity to pause, step back, or let go so that you really can get back into alignment. That's what gets us to our happy endings, folks. That's what gets us to fulfillment in life. We have to be aligned with a greater order and direction, because in these little human bodies and these little human brains, there's no way we can know all of what is really going on. And, you know, that's one, to me, the biggest heartaches that I have about education and how we condensed education down to just being about getting a job. But what education is really about, it's really about us being able to realize that we're here to keep expanding and growing and learning more about what is really going on. Because when I'm first born into this world, I'm in my family of origin, and that is my whole world. And then once I start interacting with other children and other people in neighborhood and school, whatever, that's when I begin to learn like, oh, you mean not everybody sits up on a Saturday afternoon and watches Channel 5 and knows Casablanca like I do? Yeah, exactly. So, then that expands. And then as we grow and we get into other circles or we meet new people or we move to new places, we begin to realize like, oh, there's so much more going on than I could have ever imagined. And we should never stop wanting to learn about something more, something different. Yeah. Because once we do that, we're dead. Once you stop learning, once you start thinking you got it all together, you know it all, you've got it all figured out. Yeah. Ain't no fulfillment in that, folks. I can tell you. I can tell you there's no fulfillment in that. And, we are here to grow. We're here to evolve. That's what we're doing, even when we're not thinking about it. Like right now, all of us right here, just take a pause. Guess what? We're growing. We're growing. We're expanding. Yeah, it's happening. It doesn't need our help. It doesn't need us to figure it out. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. So, oh, thank you, Michael. Michael, tell me my hearing is hitting the mic, and because I'm so excited talking about this. Thank you. I will stop hitting the mic. I'm gonna take these earrings out. That's what I'm gonna do, so that you won't get to be hearing me go bang. Because this is important. I really, really want everybody to understand that. Don't stop growing. Don't stop thinking you've got it all figured out. Don't stop thinking that you know. Keep opening yourself up to learning. And okay, I'm going to stop that and I'm going to go on to our next aspects that happening right now, today. And it is also about growth. And that is here on Monday, July 3rd. We have moved into, yes, the full moon in Capricorn. And this is one of the most positive and constructive full moons of the year. So make sure you take full advantage of it. Yeah. And there is a sweet sextile with Jupiter happening right now. So here's a little more specifics about this. This lunation is called the buck moon in native tradition. It's also called the salmon moon. It's also called the corn grows high moon. Yeah, there's all these different indigenous names for it. But spiritually, you can think of the buck's antlers as a metaphor for harnessing your full potential, as its energy symbolizes our own patterns of shedding past layers, back to that ancestral wound, of ourselves to become a new version of ourselves. That's why I really, really believe that at this point in our journey of 2023, we really are in our personal renaissance. We are moving into a whole new understanding of who we are, how we are, what we are, how we want to be, what we want to do. It really is a new time. So like we've shed those little baby antlers and now the new ones, the real ones are coming out. I just love that analogy. It's so cool, so cool. Other thing you need to know is that this moon in Capricorn is the first of 4 supermoons we're going to have throughout the summer. So this supermoon is emotionally intense and can move you toward living your dream life. I'll repeat that. This supermoon is emotionally intense and can move you toward living your dream in time to not only step into your spiritual purpose, but also part ways with the practices, thought patterns, and habits that keep you from actualizing your full manifestations. Yeah. Oops. Oh, wonderful. Now I'm back. Okay. See, I'm just so excited with this, but you get what I'm saying anyway. Even if you couldn't hear me, you could feel the energy, right? So today, with this full moon, give yourselves permission to really, really, really let yourselves embrace and accept that you are in a season, a time, an era even of renaissance in your life. And that there is so much more that is going on for you than you can imagine. Okay. Renaissance is about rebirth. It's about what happened, back in the 1400s and even the 1920s in Harlem, where after you have been in a repressive regime in an oppressed time, you begin to shed those old beliefs and you move into what is happening in the present for you, what you can take advantage of right now, what's important for you. Yeah, yeah. And we have to give ourselves permission for that. We have to give ourselves permission to be reborn, renewed, renascent, if that's such a word. But yeah, we're in this personal renaissance. So think about that. Think about if that is really true. If an energy has moved into my being, into my cells, into my brain, into my body, that says I am renewed now. I have a clean slate in front of me to do what it is that is really important for me. That I no longer have to think about work as struggle and suffer. That I truly can think about work as, oh, I get paid to do my hobbies. Wow, I get paid to do the things I love to do, right? As more people are stepping into this. But this is the thing for us to open up to. What if this is true? What if we really have this renewal time? Yeah. Grab it, and let's go with it. Yeah. So here we go. Moving right along, we're going to go to Thursday. So after this full moon, we get a little downtime. And on Thursday, we get more flow, sweet energy with Mercury in Cancer sextiling Uranus in Taurus. A day full of unpredictable changes. So it's a good thing. This aspect gives us the mental fortitude to help us make quick decisions with ease. A great day to see problems from a different point of view as we use our six senses with a proper solution. And I love this. I love the way this is being titled, because this aspect is being talked about, because what it's saying is, you get this chance after this beautiful full moon. It's telling you you're in Renaissance. You get this really, really cool chance to be able to then experience, how it is that this renewal is showing up for you. And so whatever changes are showing up or they're happening, it's really coming out of how we are now holding ourselves. And as Sister Samaya says, yes, renewal, how we are holding ourselves as renewed. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely important. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So that's the good news for us on Thursday. And then I'm going to jump over to Monday the 9th. And we get first a trine, another flow energy. This is Mercury in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. And this transit brings empathy and supports us at looking at life through a different perspective. You see how all of this is playing together? Yeah. While we place ourselves in other people's shoes to really understand them, this creative aspect encourages our inner artist to come out and make some magic today. That's another really important piece in our growth and our development that's happening. And, with this full moon, I didn't mention that a part of the whole thing about the buck and losing the antlers is that it's grounded. So we're talking about growth and grounding, getting grounded in this renaissance. And this, for learning, for staying open to learning, we do have to consider other people. We cannot just single story people based on their behaviors. We have to open up to really understanding, okay, what's motivating them to be so um, greedy, to be so hostile, you know. We have to think about that so that we don't end up doing to them what they're doing to us. And in this aspect, you know, why it's a flow energy, it's because it's saying that you're not going to let yourself, you know, turn into something that you're not based on what somebody else is doing or saying. You know, you're going to be able to really have compassion and be considerate. And a lot of times, the best thing we can do is just walk away, just let it go and keep moving. Absolutely. Now, also on this day, we have this wonderful aspect of one of the goddess asteroids, that's Pallas Athena, entering into Virgo. And Virgo is very much a sign about divine feminine. And so Pallas asteroid inspires all women to channel their life-giving Venus energy through their intellect as well as their bodies. During her transit through Virgo, use the wisdom of Pallas to take care of your health. This is a great time to connect with a nutritionist, a wellness coach, or even start journaling. Make sure your body and mind are working together in harmony. Wow, like way cool. And even though, hey, Money, even though I know this is a very focused message for women, for the feminine, I think it also applies to the feminine in men. And so it is also a message about taking care of that part of yourself, that soft part of yourself, you know, your emotional intelligence, your compassion, you know, during this time. It's a really good energy for that. So I love that. Love, love, love that. Now we'll jump now to Tuesday, the 10th. And on this day, we get Mars entering Virgo. So Virgo's going in that part of the sky's got a lot going on. This one is with the warrior planet in humble Virgo. We wage war with ourselves on our quest for perfection. And I was just having a conversation again with Carmen Ray this morning about my perfectionism and how it can be a barrier to me just doing things. But Mars in Virgo loves to do stuff. So the upcoming weeks are a great time to look at that area of your life that is a tangled mess and to sort it out. But beware of criticizing and analyzing to the extreme, finding fault in everything. We can learn to accept the things we cannot change. Yeah. And I'll tell you, folks, it's a practice. It is a practice, especially when you were raised to be a perfectionist. You really do have to stop and say, wait a minute, you know, this is enough. This is enough. It's okay. And I'm okay. And it's going to be okay. But you really do have to pull yourself back from that insanity of trying to get things to be perfect. That's not how the world rolls. And there is nothing as perfect. We can strive toward it, and that's okay. But even when we're striving toward it, we need to do it from a place of love and not fear. And that's something that I'm consciously practicing these days. Yeah, absolutely. Now, also on this day, we have an opposition. So interesting. And this opposition, this tight energy, is Mercury in Cancer opposing Pluto, which is currently retrograde in Capricorn. And so Pluto oppositions are always intense because they bring to our immediate attention things that have been bottled up. When Pluto opposes Mercury and the Sun, notice where your resistance is triggered, or I'll say activated. What makes you angry? What makes you feel powerless? This resistance will point to something very important about yourself. This is where Pluto is asking you to level up and become stronger and more resilient. Yeah. I really, really want you to relate this message to my annual theme in Wisdom Walk Talk, which is adversity is the engine of success. Adversity as the engine of success. Because what this is saying is these things that are adverse to you, that are challenging you, that you don't like, people, places, and things, is bringing you an opportunity. It's activating you to go in and really kind of begin to open up to what is this really about for me? And how do I level up so that I'm not transferring my pain back on to this person, to the situation, to these things, that I'm really, really staying in my love postures so that I can be what? Yeah, stronger and more resilient. Yeah. So again, this will be on the 10th of July, a really cool time. The other thing I want to remind you of too, with the timing of these aspects, because this is probably the things I'm looking at from the people I'm looking at, the astrologers, most of them, except for Astro Butterfly, she's from the Southern Hemisphere, but most of them are Northern Hemisphere. And so the timing can be a little different. And I like to think about aspects as happening a day or two before it hits, and then also that we can feel it a couple of days after. So just know the timing with this stuff. It's not like July 10th you'll have this. You may have it a day before, 2 days before even. But this is just a way to help you navigate when this kind of energy shows up for you. Yeah, absolutely. So on this day as well, we get another entering, another shift in the planets in the sky. And this one is Mercury entering Leo. And this is about communication becoming bold with a hint of dramatic flair when Mercury enters the sign of the Lion. Over the next 2 weeks, our speech becomes more confident and expressive, while our thoughts are focused on grand ideas. Our thinking and communication become more proud and confident. No more hiding behind a rock, like when Mercury is in Cancer. Speak out, deliver that message, and roar the truth. How wonderful. And especially after that other aspect on that day, right? The adversity is the engine of your success. And what this is saying is that you can communicate and you can speak from your authentic self, from your truthful self. The reminder in the other aspect is to do it from a place of love, a posture of love, and not fear. Yeah, absolutely. And then we go to our final aspect for this beginning of July, which will be on Friday the 14th. And this is the Sun in Cancer, sextiling Uranus in Taurus. So we open with sextiles and we're closing out the middle of the month with sextiles. And as it says here, today you may feel energized to break free from restrictive influences and anything that has been restraining your ability to express your authenticity. This creative aspect can help you transform your space into something very personal and very much your own. Also, good time to move into your own space. Wow, and I just love this aspect and its relationship to this full moon we're experiencing right now, because it is about this renaissance, right? This moving forward into our new growth, getting grounded in it. And so when you add home in there and the space around you, the environments around you, that really is a wonderful, wonderful aspect, a wonderful energy to be having this month. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you have it. There you have it. This is the astrology wisdom that I have for you at this time. It's a little ad from my book, as always, Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery, available still. And it's been my great pleasure to be here and share with you about these important aspects and things that are going on. You know, it's so important that we remember that we are here to grow, we are here to evolve, that this is a really important time for us to not fall back in fear. Hey, Matthew, this is an important time for us to really, really embrace all of what we are, all of who we are. You are so welcome, Michael. and to really be on this journey from a place of higher consciousness, up in that higher timeline. And yeah, of course, we got to operate in the lower timeline, but don't make that your reality. See it as your activation gifts so that you can choose to be up in that higher timeline more so than not. All right, be well, be well. The 4th of July holiday here in the United States is occurring tomorrow. I wish you joy and happiness and celebration. Based on my heritage, the United States has not been the most loving place to me. But I love America. I love America. I think that its story and its origin is very significant for the Renaissance that we're going through. The adversity that it brings is part of that evolutionary process. And yeah, I'm going to celebrate tomorrow. Celebrate with my housemates and the company that they're going to invite over. And I'm actually going to have a hamburger. I won't do a hot dog, but I really want to have a little slider. Yeah, with some relish on it, maybe. Yeah. So hopefully you get a chance to celebrate, be with your families, and just love on yourself. And again, take good care of yourself. Happy new moon in Capricorn. And I will be back to give you the last half of July very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day now. Bye-bye.